Hey everybody, thought I would do a short tutorial on the mod manager. Although it's really not a manager, I should have just called it installer. It doesn't manage anything. But if you go to my page, samgar65.com, and scroll to the bottom, you'll see it. Download it to wherever you download things. And for instance, I downloaded it to my D downloads folder. But you'll see PSF Mod Manager. Just extract it, and it should be 2.0. But once you extract, let's see, let me get rid of that. I just right click and extract here. I don't know, yours may look different the way you do it, not sure, but I don't really extract it to a folder, but you can if you want to. But I just extract here, and it's going to dump it right here in the downloads folder. So once you do that, double click it, and it'll take a second to start. And this is pretty much it. There's really nothing under any of these menus that does anything. And this is all there is to it. And what you'll do is you'll go to wherever you have your mods, and then you'll drag over, and one at a time. Don't try to do multiple zip files. Just do one zip at a time. If it's mods like the USFL or World Football League or the WLAF or the XFL, and I have the XFL here, those pretty much have everything in one folder because they're small. So all you would do is drag, like I want to install the XFL, then I would just click on it and drag it over to here. Now, the first time you run this program, when you drag a file over, it's going to ask you to find your Steam install folder for Pro Strategy 26. Now, I don't know where that's going to be. I actually have two Steam folders because I install some games to my C drive, some games to my D drive. So Pro Strategy, I know, is on my D drive, and it's in wherever it is on your computer. It's probably going to be in Steam Apps, Common, and then you'll see 26. So what you'll do is, and there's a text file inside the folder that tells it where the mod folder is, and that's what it needs. So what you would do is just select that. Don't select any files inside of it. Just hit select folder, and it'll start installing because it reads that text file and it starts putting stuff where it needs to be. So if you were to go to your mod folder and look in images, see there's the XFL League art. If you go in leagues, there's your XFL League file, and there's also a coach folder, coach image folder in the XFL, and it put it here. So it put everything where it needed to be, and that was it. That's all you needed. Now, if you want to go, here's the USFL. Let me see. I think that it's all ready to go. Images, league schedules. Yep. So if you wanted to install the USFL, just drag it over here, and it'll do the same thing. This might take a second because it's a little bigger file, but I'll let it install. But if you go down here, you can see it's already put the image file in there, or image folder in there. I don't think there was coach. I think, well, coaches might have been in the NFL coach photos. But if you go to leagues, well, as soon as it's done, okay. So here's your, where's it at? Here's your two USFL leagues, the 83 and 84 season. And I don't think it had, oh yeah, there we go, 83 and 84 schedules. So everything's where it should be. Now, if you have an old league file for, say, 2025, it'll install it in 2026, and it will take the league file, it'll take the league file and dump it in the conversion folder. So let's see if this works. Here's the WFL, and it was a 25 league. So, yep, there you go. It's putting the league's artwork. in the images folder. Oh, okay. So the league file was up here because it's a 25 league, so it put it in the conversion. So whenever you boot the game, it'll convert this and drop it down here into the leagues. So it'll be ready to play. I don't know if there was a... Yeah, there's the schedule, 74 WFL. So it installed that okay. The only thing it's not going to do, and I could not get it to do it, it drove me nuts, is pre-26 league art folders actually have a default inside the common, or do not have a default. 2026 does. If you notice, that was the only folder that did not have a default. The rest all had a default. You didn't have to use it, but it had to be in there. So what you'll have to do is, in playing the game, I don't think it's going to recognize any of this artwork that's in the default folder, and you do need that. So just go to your image folder, find the WFL, or if it's another 25 league that you installed, and just, right click, new folder, type default, and then highlight all this artwork, and then just move it into the default. And now it's ready to go. Everything's as it should be. So it will install older mods. There shouldn't be too many out there unless it's your own that, aren't already upgraded to 26. But the difference that you're going to run into, and it does the Metro League too. So it'll install the Metro League. This is the artwork. And there you can see it's putting it in the images folder. And this isn't really, it doesn't take too long. Okay, it's done. So then if you want to do, do the schedules, I'm going to do the 11 game schedule. It doesn't even show anything because it does it so fast, but it should be down here in schedules. But then go back up, and whichever other ones are up there, like I think this is the leagues, so do that, and it installed 3 files. Now, one thing I'll say is if you go down here to leagues to double check, there's the MFL 43-man roster, the MFL 53-man roster. It did say 3 files. What that is a README. So it doesn't really know what to do with README, so it'll put it in a folder and dump it in your images folder. So if you need the README, there it is. If you don't need the README, just delete them and off you go. Or you can just take the README out of the zip file and read it. So however. But for the most part, it works. I don't really want to tinker with it too much because it's, the old if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So it's working great. And primarily, more than anything else, for the NFL mods. The NFL mods are packaged different. You don't have the entire mod in one folder because it's just too big. I mean, the uniforms folder alone is 8 gigs. And let's see which one was 3. The common folder is 3 gigs. So there's no way that would be one install. So basically with the NFL, you have to go to each. Go to, here's your coach photo, pictures, just drag it over. And if you don't already have an NFL folder in the images, it'll make it. Well, it didn't do it with this one because it installed the coaches, but here if you see this, coaches, that's all the NFL coaches right there. So it installed that just fine. Go back up here, let me see. We'll do something small. Let's do the end zones. Move the end zones over, and because there was not a NFL folder already, it created it. Now there you go. See, the NFL folder's created and the end zones are in place. So now you would just drag the rest over. Like here's all the league files. You drag that over. And now when it does this, and I'm glad I showed you this, I forgot all about it. When it shows you this, don't worry about it. Just hit start installation. And if you go down here to leagues, you'll see it's dropping them all in there. I don't know how many more. It might be one more zip where it'll do that and give you that pop-up. But if it does that, just hit the green button like I showed you. And then you would just follow through with all the rest. You would do your common, your championship, your fields, your helmets, and let's see, midfield, and then of course the uniforms. When you start the uniform, when you drag the uniforms over there and let it go, once you see that it's working, just go find something to do because it takes forever. it's a big, it's a big, it's a big file. I mean, it's 8 gigs, over 8.5 gigs. And then the other one would be the player photos. You know, you just drag that in there and it's going to put it in the player. Where's it at? It'll put it in the player photo sets folder. And once you've done that for all the parts, you're good to go. Here's the all-time franchise. That, let's see, will it do it? Let's see. Let's see if it did it. All-time franchise. No, it won't do it. It has to be in a zip, but it was a nice try. Anyway, when you get to the, if you have a, if that was in a zip, well, you know what? Let's do that. Let me zip it. Send to compressed file. Now it's in a zip. Let me do it. And then just hit start installation. One file. Let's see if it put it in there. In the leagues. Yeah, there it is. So as long as it's in a zip file, even if it's just a league folder, it knows what to do with that based on the extension. It knows to put league files in the league folder. And then you would just go through each one. Let's see. This one right here is some stuff that Pete made. It's different throwback midfield logos, and I have 2 copies of it for some reason. But anyway, I don't think the app would know what to do with those, so I would not. Well, let me see if it knows what to do with them. Or I don't think it does, but let's see. All right, let's go to the folder. I bet it, yeah, it puts it in the images folder. So if it's in a zip and it sees that it's an image or it's images, it'll just randomly put it in the images folder. So that's the same thing with John's Metro League. You notice he has a folder for alternate helmets. If you drag those to here, it'll just put the alternate helmets folder in the images folder, but you're still going to have to go in and figure out what you want to do with them. But you know, that's a personal choice there. But the app at least does put it in the images folder, so you would just have to find it and move things around and decide which ones you want to use. But other than that, that's pretty much how it works. I try to make it as simple as possible because installing mods, especially the first time you're trying to do it, it's a pain in the butt. But with this, you know, the main thing is when you first try to use it the very first time, it's going to ask you to find your Pro Strategy folder where the game was installed to. Not your mod folder, the games folder, but the one where Steam installed it. So it'll be inside Steam, Steam apps, common, blah, 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 somewhere. But once you find that folder and just select the folder, then it'll remember it and you won't have to do it again. So I hope that was helpful. I hope this helps people. If you all have any issues, let me know. Just pretty much copy what I did and you should be good to go. Thanks, guys.